Okay, I came into pest control from farming. I've always had a very keen interest in wildlife, and once I got into pest control, I found it very, very interesting. I find it very rewarding when you solve a problem that's been going on for a while. I like to help people, and I like to make sure that whatever I'm controlling is controlled in the right manner without any harm to anything else. So it's yeah.
Very similar to John, through farming, through an interest in wildlife in general, and introduced to pest control at a very early age. Then I went from there, started with a private company, and then went to a local authority.
It is, and it's that reward that you get back from doing the job, not just the species that you're dealing with, but knowing that species, how to control it, how to stop it causing the problems it's causing without being a detriment to anything else.
No, they don't. It's quite. You take somebody new out with you, or somebody that's never been out on pest control jobs, and you start pointing things out and to see things. These people don't see things until you've actually pointed it to them, and then they realise then that there is something there. There is signs of animals, whatever they are, be it moles, rats, bats, whatever, foxes, they are there.
I think it's very important that the youngsters come into it because they're more into the technology. Us old folks can give them all the advice and point out the various things that we can show them, but they're into the technology. They can see these new forms of technology coming into the industry, which we've got to embrace because that's the way the world's going.
It's so rewarding. It really is, because, as John said, you go to a job and you get tremendous satisfaction from clearing something up and seeing an end to it for the people that's probably been at their wits' end with a problem that they've got, and you've gone in and waved a magic wand, as you might say.
Yeah, it's not all about killing things.
No,
it's more about controlling the situation than it is killing. If you can control a situation by means of proofing or any other aspect, it's far more rewarding than actually killing the species that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
We can give them ideas. We can tell our customers how to proof their properties, how to stop the infestations from originating. We can give them all that advice without them actually, or without us actually having to kill a single thing. Sometimes you can control the problem that you're going to without laying any poisons at all, or by laying non-toxics to see what's going on. I would say that if anybody's got any interest in anything wildlife-wise, to get involved, because once they're involved, they'll find out that there's far more in it than you would expect. It's vastly rewarding. It's more of you're there to help people and help the wildlife, really. You're there to govern everything without, as I say, without necessarily killing anything.
I would say to a person, as John says, if you've got an interest in wildlife, go into it, definitely, feet first, because it's the rewards that you get from helping people are vast. They really are.
And we never stop learning, do we?
You never stop learning. Never, ever. It's one of those industries, I suppose. And as we say about technology, we're being taught technology by a lot younger people, which is great. But we're transferring skills to them from what we've learnt in our past. How to tackle different jobs, or look at different ways in.
We can teach them
approaching
how
a
to
job.
look for things and
Yeah.
how to decide what pest species they're dealing with.
Yes.
But they're more into the technology than, I mean, if you look back to camera traps and things like
Yeah.
that, you know, they were just coming in when we were still working, and you know, to us that was a new concept. That was, why do you need a camera trap? You know, we can see what's there, we can see the evidence. They will go in. They perhaps won't see the evidence because they've not had to look for it in the past, so they rely more on the camera traps. So then they're spending a lot less time trying to find out what species they're dealing with than we would have done if we were going in.